So good evening, YouTube. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. I am so red today. I have properly caught the sun. I'm starting to get some colour back on my skin because I've gone pasty like a milk bottle recently. So I've had a lovely afternoon sat in the sunshine, a couple of little drinks, met some pals that I haven't seen for ages, and my daughter as well. I ain't seen her for time, so I'm kind of buzzing about that. But I have really caught the sun, so I'm probably going to have some level of heat stroke at some point. So wish me luck. At least I'm coherent today. At least I'm with it today. Thank you to everybody who watched the watch along the other day, because I was a bit hungover on that, and it weren't great. Although Arsenal won, and we found out today that Martinelli's now out for the rest of the season. That is now official, which is a massive blow. We still don't know who took him out in training, but one of our players. If I was a betting man, I would actually guess it was David Luiz. That's the kind. Maybe that's on his checklist of things to do. Maybe go and take out one of our best players. Maybe, just maybe, he's going to go for Aubameyang next. Who knows? I am very red today, Reagan. I've caught the sun, man, but I feel all right. I'm good, man. But listen, before I get into talking about Thomas Partey, do smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Do subscribe. We're very close to 37K as well. So big up to everybody who's subscribed to the channel already. Over 1,000 people in the last 8 days. So thank you very much. Do also go and check out the player ratings video that I dropped earlier this afternoon, if you haven't. And I dropped a Premier League video. There was only one Premier League story that was dominating, and that was Liverpool winning the title. So congratulations to them. Proper team, proper manager, proper players. And only maybe another 14 years, and we might get to that level. Who knows? We're 16 years from our last title, aren't we? But we are going to speak about this guy. If I can load his picture up, hopefully it's going to load. There we go. We get there in the end. Modern day technology failing on me. But Thomas Partey, the latest breaking news with Thomas Partey is that his agent is apparently flying to the UK next week to tie up a deal for his client at Arsenal. Now, I don't know, man. Like, listen, I won't believe this until it actually happens. I just think that I've seen a lot of stories going around about this geezer. A lot of them suggesting that he wants the move. We know that his dad came out and was talking like they do. All these stories come out into the media. Suddenly they get a third cousin twice removed pop out the woodwork saying, oh, yes, he's going to sign for this club. And then he signs a new contract at the current club. So listen, I'm not going to hold my breath, but everything I've read today suggests that we are very, very close to getting this deal done. And I'm not going to get deluded with it. I've seen this a million times before at this football club. I've seen deals apparently be done and Higuain at the training ground. And that one never happened, did it? So I'm not going to get too carried away with this. The one thing I will say is that I've said for quite a while. First off, I will say this, because I know you guys are saying you're a flip-flop. I did actually originally say that I think he would sign for Barcelona. And maybe 2 months ago, I kind of changed my thought process on that. There was a lot of stories leading up to Thomas Partey not signing the new deal at Atletico. And let's not forget here, Atletico Madrid have furloughed their staff, for people that don't know. So every deal they do in and out of that football club is part of the Spanish system now, government system, where they check over the finer details of every single deal in and out. Don't forget also that Thomas Partey is coming close towards the end of his deal. I think he's still got a 2-year deal at the moment, but he has got a buyout clause. And for anybody who doesn't know how a buyout clause works in Spain or anywhere else, is that if you hit the buyout clause, you don't transfer the money to the player, but you do to the club. You transfer it to the player, and you have to pay the full fee in one hit. That player then has to go, I think it's down to the FA of the country that they're in at the time, and then they have to transfer the money themselves to the club to buy their contract out. Can we actually genuinely see Arsenal transferring 43.5 million quid to Thomas Partey? I don't know. One thing I do know is that I want him to sign for Arsenal. I'd be over the moon if he signed for us. I think he is exactly what we need in that midfield. And I think that if you put him next to Lucas Torreira, and I know that Granit Xhaka had a good game yesterday, or a good first half especially, but I do think that if you stuck him next to Lucas Torreira, then I think that would be a decent partnership. And I think that would make us a lot better going forward in terms of the club, in terms of the team. Defensively, Torreira is probably our best defensive player in that midfield. Well, there's no probably, he is, let's be real. And then you've got Thomas Partey, who can go backwards and forwards, can dribble, and is actually defensively sound, actually chases players. And I would be over the moon if we signed him. We've obviously signed up Cedric Suarez. We've signed up Pablo Mari. I'm happy with both of them ish, kind of happy with it. I don't know why we've given them both a 4-year deal. We haven't even seen Cedric Suarez play football yet for us. So to give him a 4-year deal is a big risk. Pablo Mari, the same. We've seen him play a couple of games, but again, a 4-year deal. David Luiz, I mean, welcome to the Banter Club, David Luiz. He epitomizes the last decade of this football club. Let's be real here. It has been a circus from start to finish. And if you was to pick one player out of the club right now that sums up where we are as a football club, I think all of us would pick David Luiz because he is a clown. And it's mad how we've signed that guy up to a new deal. Obviously, we've played a free at the back of the weekend. I keep saying weekend. It was Thursday, wasn't it? Yesterday. But we played a free at the back. Tierney was one of the centre-backs in that game without the ball. With the ball, he ended up going out on the left, kind of. It was a bit of a weird formation. It worked. Listen, we kept a clean sheet, and I think we've done all right with it. But Atletico Madrid are said to only want the cash, and they don't want to play a swap. So we're going to find out next week whether all of these rumours going around the media circles in Spain and everywhere else are actually true, or whether they're actually crap. And listen, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I'd say it's probably rubbish. But at the same time, I'm kind of hoping and praying and fingers crossed that Thomas Partey does want to come and join the Banter Club and does want to take us out of the banter era that we've been in for so long. And like I said, Pioneer in the chat says Partey and Torreira are too similar, it won't work. I disagree, mate. Thank you for your comment as well. Appreciate that. I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because I think he's defensively quality, but he's more of a box-to-box. Granit Xhaka's a deep-lying playmaker. What is a deep-lying playmaker? Can somebody explain that to me? Because surely all 11 players on the pitch are playmakers. But I genuinely hope that this is true. I really do. And I think that it would be the best 40-odd million quid we've spent in a long, long time if we was to sign this geezer up. We have got massive work to do this summer. We obviously need to get rid of a lot of players. So there is probably some level of scope there where we'd recoup more than what it's going to cost to get him, recoup what it's going to cost to get other players, and we'll probably end up balancing the books again this summer. But he has to be on the hit list. He has to be one of the guys that we want to get. And if he isn't, buckle up, because it'll be a long season again next season. So listen, hopefully, fingers crossed, that story is true. And hopefully Thomas Partey's agent is coming to sign up for Arsenal. No doubt, Banter FC are all going to be sitting here as fans and going, oh, yes, he's going to sign for us. And breaking news, he signs for Chelsea because they've actually got ambition. I mean, why would you want ambition? Why do you want to win stuff? Like, I don't know. We're kind of happy doing what we're doing, aren't we? So let's just hope he don't go and end up signing for Chelsea, and it is actually to come to us, because I'm sure that there's a lot of people that rate this guy, not just in England, but in other countries as well. And I'm sure he could pick a lot better football clubs at the moment than Arsenal Football Club. So let's hope, if it is true, that he buys into Arteta's philosophy and backs the process, whatever that is. But there you go. Let me see your thoughts on this. Do smash the likes up if you haven't already. Thiago Silva is a deep lying playmaker. I don't know what it means, mate. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't know what deep lying playmaker is. Is it somebody that just don't cross halfway and passes sideways and backwards and does the odd Hollywood ball every now and again, 60 yards, and don't track runners and has the turning circle of a ship? Is that what it is? I don't know. What about Guendouzi? Well, there's a lot of stories going around today about Guendouzi, and apparently Arsenal have had enough of him and want to bin him. I said this on the stream earlier on today. I wouldn't be crying if any of these players left. Real talk. These are the same players that have got us to, where are we in the league? 9th, 10th, 11th? I don't even know where we are. All I do know is that Liverpool have won a title, and that's where I want to be as a supporter of my football club. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. But let's hope that that all these frauds that are running our football club for the last couple of years can actually grow some bollocks, grow some ambition, and actually go and get some proper players this summer, whilst binning a hell of a lot of the crap that we have. What do you think about going for Hakimi? Hakimi going to Inter, sorry, for 40 million. That price is cheap for him. Is he actually going there? Mate, I haven't seen that. Genuinely, real talk. Thank you, Gio, for your donation. I'll take it you're an AC Milan fan. Listen, AC Milan are very similar to Arsenal, mate. They used to be great, and they're not so great anymore. And it's kind of sad when you see some of these clubs that used to be brilliant and have ambition and be run properly, and then you see them languishing down the middle of the table. It's kind of sad, really, isn't it? But there we go. TB, evening, buddy. Okan Kochu has just signed a new contract with Final. There you go. That's another one we ain't getting then, unless we pay over the odds. So there you go. Nearly 600 people watching this. So do smash the likes up if you haven't. Evening to Claude in the chat. Claude, good evening. I understand you had a little bit of a drama yesterday, taking your mic to the toilet. I love you, man. Proper nice guy, man. Go and subscribe to Claude if you haven't already. Proper real one. So big up yourself, Claude. And he says he's going to track the plane. No doubt our fans will be tracking the plane, Claude, because that's what we do. We're so desperate for proper players to come and join the football club that we'll do anything to see if they're getting here. Hopefully it's true. Let's see. Let's see what happens. A deep-lying playmaker is what Arsenal fans use to describe Xhaka because they're too deluded to describe him for what he really is, which is a donkey, says Ricken. Well, listen, mate, thank you for your donation as always, bruv. Appreciate that, man. Listen, at the end of the day, all of these new fad terms that have come out, all of these new stats that have come out, it's Sky Sports era of fan. And a deep-lying playmaker, like, come on. Seriously, you mean a midfielder? Is that what you say? It's a midfielder that passes the ball to somebody better than them because they're crap, but they keep passing it, ticking it over. You could basically say Mohamed El Neni is a deep-lying playmaker, couldn't you? Because if you look at Mohamed El Neni's passing stats for us, they're probably there or thereabouts the same as Xhaka's, but all of them are backwards. And this is why I laugh when I see stats because, he had 95.69 twice removed percentage of passes accurate. Yeah, whoopie-doo. How many were over 5 yards? How many were effective? How many were sideways? How many were backwards? But we don't ever get told that. It's just, we have 99% part. Who cares? Yeah, I've got eyes. Use eyes. I don't use stats to determine how good a player is unless it's goal scorers, which is what they're paid to do, goal score. And Aubameyang, again yesterday, I thought he should have scored the chance he had. Great movement. Unbelievable. We get that with Aubameyang. The geezer's quality with his movement. Great ball from Tierney, but he should have buried that. And I said this on my stream earlier when I was doing my player ratings. You know, if that was Sergio Aguero, it's 1-0. Yeah, if that's Mohamed Salah or Mane, 1-0. If that's Harry Kane, well, he probably wouldn't have got that far away from the player, but it would have been 1-0. And listen, he's gone 4 games without a goal now, and I just hope that Arteta starts playing him down the middle because although he's done a lot of his good work this season off the left, he has to play up front. Yeah, he has to play up front. And Eddie yesterday, I know he got gifted a goal and Eddie pressured him into giving him that goal. He very nearly got another one exactly the same. But for me, he's not strong enough to hold the ball up or get him behind. And this is a problem that we've had at this club for so long, is that we don't play to our strikers' strengths. We always play, say if we put Aubameyang up front, we're never going to play the quick ball over the top or through the defence. We're always going to go with him back to goal. Well, that ain't his strength. That's an Olivier Giroud's strength. That's not his strength. So we need to basically start playing to our strengths. And I thought we'd done all right at times, but to be dominated 70% of the ball in the second half against Southampton, and I know Southampton are decent, but let's be real, they lost to West Ham and Newcastle. Maybe we can take Newcastle out of that because they're kind of on our level, but they lost to West Ham. And I don't know, man. Like, I just think that we need to get a style of play. We need to pick a set 11. When we see Liverpool, we know Liverpool starting 11 every single week, and I know they've got better players than us, but we need to pick a set 11. And when you stick with that set 11, you become better, hopefully, as a team. That's if you're picking the best 11. Nicola Pepe yesterday was getting a raging ump with that clown at right back. I mean, seriously, if that geezer starts on the weekend, there's a steward's inquiry. Yeah, what has that Bellerin done to warrant starting a game again? What has he done to warrant getting straight back in the team? I know he scored against Chelsea, which got us a goal to make it 2 apiece and got us a draw. But even in that game, he was getting the run around. And maybe that's because we had 10 men. Maybe that's because Chelsea are better than us. But yesterday, he was out of position so often, you know, and I'll see a stat that after 33 minutes, he'd given the ball away 11 times. That's our right back. And when you look at Pepe's best work at Lille, yeah, he always had an overlapping right back. Yeah. So then that overlapping right back then takes the defender away, which gives Pepe the space to come in and bang it with a left foot. We've got, well, he ain't even a right back. We've got a fashion model that just don't want to be on the pitch. That's just nicking 114 grand a week. But there you go. Thank you, Robert, for your donation, mate. Appreciate that, buddy. Hope you're well. Arteta wanted Marie because he's a ball-playing left-footed centre-back who has a decent long ball, but a mediocre defender. Well, Rob Holding's left-footed as well, I think, and hopefully he continues after what he did the other day. I thought he was all right against Brighton. People were casting it. I actually thought he played all right. Yesterday, he got man of the match on Sky. Personally, I would have given it to Saka. But I'm not too disappointed that he got it. I actually like Rob Holding. I think he's all right. But is he good enough to keep going and get us up the table? I'm not so sure. We'll have to wait and see. The plane has left the runway, says Claude. Get on that flight 24 or whatever it. Flight tracker 24. These comments are coming in so quick. Apologies if I'm missing them all. Do you think our coaching staff need upgrading? Our fitness levels look so low compared to everyone else's. 100%. When we had Emery here, our players were knackered doing the high press after about 5 games. So he binned it, didn't he? And that is an issue for me, mate. Evening, Abdul. I would like to see a Lee and Claude podcast. Well, if you go through my channel, type in Lee Gunner podcast with Claude. It'll come up with a full hour and something one, mate. Sat outside the Emirates, wouldn't we, Claude? Nice sunny day that day. That was, what, about a year ago now? Evening, Dr. Viraj. Hope you're well. How reliable are the Slobosly links? I've been reading, we're heavily linked to him. It depends, man. Listen, when I see a link, I always think like, okay, cool. Let me assess everything with it. And I would take that guy at Arsenal. I think he's quality. Yeah, I think he's absolutely class. But the way I think Arteta wants to play, would he fit into that? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure. We shall see. But at the same time, we need to go and sign some players, and he, for me, is one of them that I definitely have on that list, mate. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and yeah, man, we'll see exactly what happens with that. But it's going to be a long summer, that's for sure. It's going to be a really long summer, and I just hope that we go and do what is required this summer to go and get this team up to where it should be. Evening, Laura. Hope you're well, darling. Sign up to Stephen Feely. Yes, Stephen has got a YouTube channel. Type that into YouTube. Yeah, this guy has been through some mad dramas in his life, man, with transplants and everything, man. So big him up. Go and subscribe to him. Just type that name, Stephen Feely, into YouTube. Holding is right-footed. Well, there you go. That's how much I know. Where have your podcasts gone? Bruv, listen, I have been so flat out doing everything on this channel for 3 months straight, man. As soon as I can get back to working for 2 streams a day rather than 22 streams a day, when football comes back properly, then yeah, hopefully I can get some podcasts going on again, mate. So that'd be cool. But there you go. There we go. How does Arteta want to play? Do you know what? I genuinely don't know, mate. He needs to find a style of play and just stick to it. But I don't know what his style of play is. We had this with Unai Emery. 1 week he presses, then he doesn't press. Then we concede more shots on goal than we have. Then we look great for 2 games. Then we look crap again and stop doing what we did in them 2 games. Chopping and changing the team constantly. Again, Emery was doing that. I don't know, man. I genuinely couldn't tell you. Evening, Max. Thanks for your donation, buddy. Howdy, love your stuff as always. The links to Arsenal is something to take a knock out of my back because of the stress. Fabrizio Romano said it looks concrete. Is that what for Thomas Partey? Listen, that guy is one of the best in the business. So I hope you and the missus are well, mate, and thank you for that. But I hope that story is very true, because if we do get Thomas Partey over the line, mate, then that would be absolutely quality. Rocking the yellow for the merry month of June. Yeah, come on, man. This is our winners t-shirt, bruv. Yeah, our winners t-shirt. Look, winners t-shirt. Only winners here, bruv. 1971 cup final. Bring it on. If only these players played like that. Yeah, come on. Anyway, let's do 3 more, and I'm going to wrap this stream up because this room is sweating me out, man. It's roasting in this room, so I'm going to go and sit in the garden. And I've caught the sun big time, so I badly need haircut, man. But there we go. Do you think Arsenal can get Upamecano when Chelsea are in for him as well? Probably not, if I'm being honest. Probably not. But there you go. Would you take John Stones? Yes, I would take him and drive him to White Hart Lane and say, there you go, you can have him, because I don't want him. Not good enough. Not good enough. But there we go. Sorry if I didn't read all your comments out. There was literally hundreds flying in. So I do apologise about that. Do smash the likes up if you haven't. And I'm going to read one more before I get myself out of here and enjoy my evening. There we go. We'll end on this one on Facebook from Modup. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're well. Would the release clause not decrease when we get into the next season as well as Upamecano? Hopefully we can get Partey, Aarons and Szoboszlai. 8 out of 10 window if that happens, because we ain't getting a centre-back. It depends on the person's contract, mate, if I'm being completely honest, because Upamecano, his goes down and decreases every 6 months. I'm not sure about Thomas Partey's. I've not seen anything in the media to suggest that Thomas Partey's contract decreases every 6 months. I just imagine that that's a buyout, which is why they're probably so desperate to sign him up to a new contract so they can put a bigger release clause in it, because they know that he's worth more than 43 million quid. He's probably worth, in today's market, well, if pre-coronavirus market, probably about 60, 70 million quid, because there ain't many players like him out there. But there we go. I don't know. Listen, I will be back tomorrow about 1 o'clock. I will be not dropping a Premier League video tomorrow because it is Saturday and I swerve them at the weekend. But tomorrow about 1 o'clock, I'm not sure whether Arteta's done a press conference. I haven't seen one that he's dropped yet. I won't imagine that he'd be doing one for the game at the weekend. I'm sure there'll just be little sound bites and clip-its out on Sky Sports here and there. And yeah, Claude, man, you're welcome anytime, bruv. I know that you stream at 7 o'clock a lot, mate, and that's when I tend to do them. But we'll sort one out definitely, man, in the future. 100%, bruv. 100%. We'll get you and Kenny on together. That'd be good. And if you haven't subscribed to Claude's channel, go and subscribe to it right now. Anyway, listen, I'm out of here. Thanks for all the love. Do subscribe, do like, do share the content around. Laters, peeps.